It's Thursday, y'all. Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. The Don Miller Show. We late. 5 minutes. But you know black people, if we that early, is something wrong. Thank you so much. I'm just kidding. We're not actually late. We had to do a little promo, and we are going to have a great conversation today. Thank you again for joining us. Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern time, The Don Miller Show at YouTube. Subscribe and like. You can also watch us streaming live on Facebook at The Don Miller Show. My buddy in the studio again, the Haitian sensation, Void Nicholas. And guess what? We got a great guest, and she is joining us live from Washington, D.C., where she squeezed a little time for her buddy Don Miller, my good friend Whitley Yates. Hey, Whitley!
Hey!
How you doing over there?
I'm so happy to be at the Don Miller Show. Now, if you hear it get a little loud, it's because I'm at the Washington National Stadium, and that means we're winning, okay?
Okay,
the Washington Nationals are winning.
Well, great. Whitley is joining us. You can follow Whitley on all platforms. A great story, an amazing young lady, political strategist, commentator, public relations czar. She's amazing at what she does, and she has been engaged in politics most of her young life. And we're just glad to have her to pick her brain about a couple of things. We know she is traveling in Washington, D.C. She is based in Indianapolis, Indiana. And we're just glad you could pop right in with us. One of the things I want to get to before you got to dip out and watch some home runs get hit. We all watched a debate the other day, and the conversation surrounding the debate has been interesting. There are people who saying that Donald Trump got his clock cleaned, and oftentimes, we find ourselves emotional and not informational. What did you see when you watched the debate the other night?
Well, here's the thing, guys. I don't know what people were expecting. Trump was very much Trump. He gave you everything that you would expect. He's going to take jabs. He's going to attack. He's going to talk about whatever he wants to talk about. He's going to also say all the things that he feels he did within his presidency that was great. And so everything that we saw is what I expected.
Okay, right. And again, what did people expect? I can tell you what I think they expected, Voy. I think there are a lot of people cheering for Trump to do something so they can call him anti-woman or a white racist who hates black women. I think that's what they were expecting, him to go off the rails to such an extent that nobody came out of this debate and called him anti-woman or racist, which means to me, I think he did well just simply because of that. What do you think?
I think that people are consistently expecting him to act like a polished politician,
And
which
he's
is
not.
the reason why people like him in the first place, is that he's not. He's always going to say what's on his mind. It's always going to be off the cuff, and he's not going to feel the need to just run around and say things to appease people for political purposes, like some of the other people we watch.
Like most of the other people. And you're exactly right. So tell me, that's the most polished I've seen the vice president in 20 plus years that I've been seeing her. How did she so quickly become refined?
I wouldn't necessarily say it was quickly, but this is what I think. I think that they knew going into this that she had a piss poor debate performance previously when she ran for president and polled at 1%, had to drop out of the race. And so what I think that they wanted to do was make her seem presidential, because usually when she's off script, she's talking about coconut trees and washing greens in bathtubs and all these other weird things.
Right.
And so what they wanted to do was make sure she stayed on topic, make sure she looked presidential. Even if there was no substance in what she was saying, their goal was to show her as the symbol of a leader. That's why they wanted to have the mics on. They hoped that Trump said something wild and crazy so that they could then capitalize off of that and show people the dichotomy between her level of decorum and his.
And I think what you just said is spot on. But again, just her not doing word salad is a win for her, because without a teleprompter, her not doing word salad or talking about something ridiculous, as you just said, is a wonderful accomplishment for that lady. And so now President Trump came out tonight, said, no more debates, which I'm fine with. I was hoping that he wouldn't do it again. There's no benefit. Go about doing the people's work. Get out in front of the people. Let the people decide. And So, what are your thoughts on President Trump coming out today saying no, it's a wrap on the debates?
I'm actually surprised that he took on this debate because you've got to understand the last debate that he had was with a totally different candidate. So now he's debated twice with two different people because the last one that he debated with, he whooped them so bad that he face planted and they had to switch out
Right,
their candidate. And
right.
so here he is now debating a second person where she has changed all the rules. She wants the microphones on. She wanted to have notes when they had originally said there were going to be no notes. And so here you are in a completely new situation with a new person having to basically redo all of the rules and things that you set forth previously again. And the truth is that Kamala's not really going to be sitting down with media. She did that lightweight interview, which was like a 2-on-1 that didn't even last 20 minutes. So we're not going to be able to see her on media unless she's at one of her Kamala Jammy Jams where the people come out and they support her.
You
And
called it a
so
jammy jam. Why would you
the
say
Jammy
such a thing?
Jams, because they
It
be
is a
having the
jammy jam.
entertainers up there shaking.
Yeah,
They got
well, she had Megan Thee
shaking.
Stallion in her draws.
They be
Uh,
shaking. So it's a Jammy Jam.
you know what's
But
amazing? Real quick, thank you. I'm so glad I could reach you. I want you to get you for a full show at some point soon, but thanks for squeezing me in. I know you up there working for sure. But one of the things I want to quickly turn away from that conversation, we've been hearing a lot about Springfield, Ohio. There's a significant influx of migrant Haitians in Springfield. Springfield is a small town, like a real small. It's a town. It ain't a city. And now it's a sanctuary town, and now they've had this influx of Haitians. Voy, you were born in Haiti.
Absolutely.
You know Haitians. You speak Creole, right?
Sac passé.
Okay. So when you hear that Haitians are engaged in some of the things they're saying they're engaged in, and people are like, oh, nobody would eat a dog or a cat. What were your thoughts when you heard that, Voy?
What a goddamn lie.
Why? Tell me why.
Because I don't eat cat, but I tell you what, some of my family have, and it's part of the some part of the segment of the Haitian culture.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they eat it. So I wasn't surprised at
Right.
all that is happening. But to me, the shocking point is people trying to make excuses, and they know it happened.
Mm-hmm.
They just their behavior. And there's another aspect to it. Yes, we do practice voodoo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we use cat for sacrifice. We use cat for other things. So yeah, it happened, especially when people's drinking alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a delicate food. So like I said, I never eat any cat. So to me, just because Trump brought it to the light, J.D. Vance, it was a pre-debate actually, and Trump actually mentioned Migrant. People just like, that disrespectful, all this. No, it's happening. And the media was hiding it, Don.
Yeah.
The media know the story is out there. That's why a lot of residents is coming out with video, with the hearing at the city council meeting. It's happening.
So when you saw that, Whitley, what were your thoughts?
now wait a minute. I'm gonna push back on him. You ain't never ate no cat. You said ain't okay. That may not be
Some kitty
the
cat.
feline kind.
Push back. I like that.
I mean, you
So,
ain't no
so
cat. Where your girlfriend at?
that's
Nah.
why.
No,
that's
no,
why
no.
she's single. Anyway, that's inappropriate. but Whitley, when you see that and you see a situation, and you're not really far from that town, and I call friends of mine who live in Springfield, two particular friends who live in Springfield, a white guy and an older black woman. The white guy's like, Don, I talk open to you. I was like, yeah. He's like, I ain't had a problem with the cat eating or the dog situation. He said, but my brother was down and watched them grab some ducks out the lake for sure. He said the problem is the driving, man. He said the accidents, and this is a retired cop. He said that they can't drive, and they are driving crazy, and people are getting injured. So you're not far from there. What have you heard?
Yeah, so I have definitely heard that they are snatching ducks out the pond, chopping their heads off, throwing them in bags, and taking them home to prepare them and cook. And I
Right.
do know that there has been a consistent influx of Haitians coming to America. Now, what I will say, which is very interesting, because in Indiana, we have an organization called the Haitian Association of
Absolutely.
Indiana.
Yes.
And they were founded because some Haitians realized that there was such a huge influx of Haitians coming to Indiana. They were all living in a home. It was unsanitary. And
Mm-hmm.
so what they did was they created this organization as well as a job and provided housing. And so they provided sanitary housing. They helped them get their immigration paperwork settled, and then they hire them and transport 90% of them to work every day. Now, we have over 50,000 Haitians in Indiana. And so, what they ended up doing, they just bought a community center. They
Yep.
have their own health center. They're working with the hospitals to teach and have Creole speaking people in the hospitals. So, in Indiana, what I'm seeing when it comes to Haitian immigrants is that they're dedicated, that they are attempting to build and propagate their own communities.
Right.
However, we have some enterprising Haitians here that have built a multi-million dollar business off of doing this called Jaspin.
Mm-hmm.
In other states, that's
Mm-hmm.
not what's happening. And so you're seeing the clash of cultures. You're seeing people being confused about what they're witnessing because they're just not used to these cultures being in America. And we're just used to everyone assimilating. We ain't grabbing
Absolutely.
no ducks
And
off the pond.
and that's what we want. That's what we want. We don't have a problem with immigration. We have a problem with people who come here, get a bunch of money, and still feel the need not to assimilate or do the things to make, you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, here we come, but we're going to do everything we do where we come from, like break the law, be criminals. And but I want I want to shout out Leon Jean Baptiste in Indianapolis, who runs that organization that you just mentioned. They're doing real good work, and they're building up Haitian communities. They're making a difference. And I think that's what people don't see. Simply, even in Orlando, Florida, where we're from, there are people, there's a strong Haitian community led in part by my friend who's sitting in front of me, who's very active, who's a great voice.
300,000 Haitian right here in Central Florida.
Absolutely. And again, people come here, they go to work, they make a difference. And I don't think this is a knock on Haitians. This is a knock on, come on, you can't, once you cross the pond and get here, you don't do that here. You can't do that. But when you send these people to these small ass sanctuary blue cities, the problem is these white folk panicking right now.
Don, you're absolutely right, but there's a positive thing to the story too. A lot of companies out there prefer the Haitian workers because we're hard worker. Okay, we have we don't call in all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, and these companies out there that's building some of these factories, they're like, we don't have to worry about drug testing them.
No, because y'all ain't getting high.
We're not getting high. So there's a positive aspect. It's not just in Springfield, Ohio. Like the Biden and the Harris administration been spreading migrant throughout the country. Ask yourself this: there's places in Alabama, there's places around Mississippi. They're dropping these people, and some of these places they don't have resources. So why are they putting these folks in certain red counties and small town? The Democrat has a plan.
Okay. So real quickly, as we turn away from that, because we got to let Whitley go and enjoy her evening. Whitley.
Yay, yay.
Whitley.
Yay,
You all right?
yay.
You all right? Hey, first of all, Whitley is a fashionista. Let's be clear. I follow her, and she's always fabulously dressed. She's a big fashion person. Yes, you are. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you now, shawty. Whitley, we saw something the other day, last Sunday morning. Football player by the name of, I hate him saying his name. He's such a clown. What's his name?
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. That's his name.
Yep.
He gets pulled over by the police minutes away from the stadium in which he plays for $200 million every Sunday, and gets snatched from the car, handcuffed, only to be let go moments later. What do you think of his behavior at the onset of that stop?
Now, listen, I've watched the video about 3 times because I wanted to make sure that I was listening for everything and I was looking for everything. And I'm not going to lie, I think the officers were a little bit frolic. They seemed TTG. They
Yeah.
seemed like they was trained to go.
Yeah.
And and this is kind of the juxtaposition, right? I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube and on TikTok where you see, Wahites engaging with officers,
Right.
and they'll cuss them out
Right.
for pulling them over. And they'll
Mm-hmm.
say all of these things and get treated completely differently with kid gloves, to be quite honest.
Mm-hmm.
And when I watched this video, I was like, oh, they don't like him. They don't like the car he's driving.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like the fact that this man's got money.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like they were looking for a reason.
But again, and there may be some truth to that. I'm pretty active in terms of with law enforcement, and I think what I saw. First of all, I think you can't let your history be a mystery. And if you have had handcuffs on you more than once, twice, three, four, 5 times, then the least thing you should ever want on you again is handcuffs. When you done made $200 million, signed $200 million, they give you $25 million up front, you got a $52 million guaranteed contract, and you've been in trouble with the law your whole life, you should deal with the law a little differently than everybody else. There are 2 Americas. I get it. When I get pulled over, I'm on 10 panic. And I do everything. I comply. All the windows down, dome light on, hands on the steering wheel. They got to take my hands off the steering wheel to get my license. No, I'm not. You get them there in my left pocket. Okay? I get that. But my concern is if we're really trying to send a message to young black men, we can't support guys who behave like this in the onset. I talked to 4 of my NFL buddies who played long time in the NFL. One of them last night, I love this cat, was a great player for many years. He said he was dead wrong. And my problem is that's Miami-Dade. Anybody been there? No. You don't play in Miami-Dade. They didn't know who he was. You can rent that car, Miami-Dade, for $947 a night at his elite rental car. They don't know. I'm saying when you let the window up, and I'm going to put this on the record, when you let the window up, and it's a tinted window, I know cops would have broke that window.
Yep.
So I think this brother needs a man in his life. I think he needs some counseling. Domestic violence charges, 4 babies in the last 3 years, 3 babies, whatever the number is. Right? He got all these lawsuits against him. He's DV. Listen, bro, man, you've won. Once you've won as a black man, get a man in your life. I'm sorry, but I was just like, dude, you just won. You hit the jackpot. Just go to work, play the game, finish your career, and go to the beach like I would do. Whitley?
Do you think that the reason why his behavior was this way was because all of his interactions with police and his proclivity of how he's going to behave being once again stopped or once again encountering them?
But I think it's hard to have these conversations if you don't know his history. Here's a guy who was a top player, went to Oklahoma State, had to leave Oklahoma State, went to Garden City Community College, got about a Garden City Community College, went to West Alabama, then went to the pros, got in trouble in Kansas City, had to leave Kansas City. And my concern is his life was changed when somebody took a chance on him and gave him $200 million. They're black men who don't even get a second look after 2 things they do. This guy's been in tragic conversation his whole career. This dude needs a man in his life. I'm sorry, that's my position. I ain't gonna volunteer to be the man in his life, but he need a dude. He can call me like, yo, sir, Mr. Sir. Just bring it down, man. I think so many of these young athletes, and I spent 25 years dealing with athletes, I know they can be assholes.
So you know they get turned.
Oh, look, I've spent 20 years with the popo, and I can get turned too. I'm saying, what is the most important thing as a black man on a traffic stop in any American city? To get to the house.
Yeah.
You're trying to get to the house, son.
Do what the police
I
say.
told
Make
my
it
son,
home.
make it home. Daddy will deal with this at the end of the day.
Yep.
But you ain't never going to win on the side of the road. You're going to get slammed out of your $429,000 car. You're probably going to go on to your job because you're somebody. But the average person would have went on to jail. I'm just saying, let's not send these messages that it's okay to be disrespectful to authority. I know it ain't right. It's 2 Americas. I've been saying that since they gave me that goddamn microphone at the white people station. It's 2 Americas. And guess what? They know it's 2 Americas. But I'm trying to get to the next level. I'm trying to get to the house, eat a fried pork chop sandwich, and watch my big screen TV. When you get all 3 of them, you won as a black man.
But Don, how many times have we seen black men comply and they still end up face down on the concrete? I think the problem that we have is that no one's talking about the real issue. And the real issue is the interaction that police have specifically with the Black community, and it's not being addressed. And in a place like
I agree.
Miami, that is a huge melting pot, and the fact that those officers were from the Latino and or Hispanic community.
Whoa.
Yep.
Hey, wait. See what she said? That's the issue nobody's talking about.
Come on.
These wasn't the white po-po that everybody
Come
from.
on.
They're the Cuban. They're the Cuban.
Let me tell you something. Some of these, what?
They're the Cuban.
Listen to me. I have a better chance.
What they say, that black and brown unity? No.
Psych. Okay?
Psych.
I have a better chance of talking myself out of a situation with the white police than the Latin police. I'm telling you why I know this, because it has happened to me.
Same.
So all I'm saying is that's the conversation that should be being had. I started a program. Boy, you know this.
Yep.
I funded a whole ass program to teach young black men and Hispanic men how to deal with a police stop in Central Florida. I funded it myself. And 4 people showed up. You know what I mean? There was more cops to teach them than the people that came. And I had it in the hood. Wasn't no excuse. One dude said his mama said, don't go over there. There's too many police. That's why they here. We trying to teach you how to deal with a police stop. If you cuss the police out, it's highly likely, may not be fair, but it's highly likely your day ain't going to end good. That's just the way it is.
It was very simple, Don. Put your window down. I mean, I
Okay,
understand.
I just want to let all your listeners know,
Yeah.
you do not have to actually put your window down for police officers. You don't. If they ask for your ID, you can hold it up to the window and they can look at
Oh,
it.
that's
If
the
your
lawyer
tent's
talking.
illegal,
There go that lawyer talking.
I'm just telling you, legally, you can hold your ID up. You can hold up your registration to your window. If your tents are legal, if they're legal, they can look for it. You do not have to hand it over. You do not have to roll down your window at all. I'm just letting you know that. Legally.
That's the one. That's that lawyer talking, y'all. Listen, thank you so much. Listen, I want everybody to tell people how they can follow you. I love you. When you get settled next week or two, when you in the studio, you got to come on here when I can't hear
I'm
people.
come in the studio.
All right, listen. So tell people how they can follow you.
You guys can follow me on Twitter, on Instagram at Whitley J. Yates. You can see me tomorrow on News Nation at 10 a.m. You can see me on Sunday at 6 p.m. on MSNBC, Jonathan Capehart Show. Keep up with me, whether you like me, love me, hate me, or want to date me. Go ahead and hit that follow.
Thank you so much. I love you, baby girl. I'll talk to you next week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Have fun. Man, that's my girl right there, man. She's a good young lady, and she's brilliant. Ooh-wee. You like her, man? She good, ain't she?
She cute, though.
See, that ain't what we
Intelligent.
talking about, man.
And she's a conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Phil,
Yo,
she's pretty talented.
yeah, she's great.
Yeah, so again, thank you. Feel free to call us. Put the number up, Phil. I think we got some people want to talk to us.
Yeah, Pat was already calling.
I want to talk about, spend more time on the Tyreek Hill. And I'm going to tell you why. My issue with Tyreek Hill is personal, okay? And I could have a personal issue with somebody. Here's a guy who reinvented himself. He messed up so bad so many times, and he had the chance to reinvent himself. You go to Miami, shout out to his agent, Drew Rosenhaus. Go to Miami, sign a great deal, a sweet deal, big money up front, big guaranteed money. Just go play ball, son. And keep your name out of the news. My challenge with many of these brothers is they don't understand the importance of keeping your name out of the news. If they're not talking about you cutting across the field, catching a 70-yard touchdown, they shouldn't be talking about anything else you're doing.
And that's not his loss, Don. He's the way he is right now. You know, like I said, he needs a mentor. He needs a father.
Yeah. And listen, I talked to my buddies that I was smoking with one last night, played 15 years in the NFL. Okay? And I was shocked that all of these NFL guys were like, he did that. Now, the cop
We got a call too.
the cop was off, the cop was extra.
Yeah.
How about if we start at the beginning? I like to start at the beginning. There was a point where it didn't even have to come to the cop being extra.
No, they didn't have to slim him down.
No, the cop was extra. But
Yeah.
how about, yes, sir, officer, here you go, boom. You're right. You could just, man, I pray that people learn how to comply. Not just black folk, but white folk have a little extra length on the rope. But we just got to figure it out, man. Go to the phone lines.
All right, you're live on the air. Who's this?
Hey, this is Pat from Florilla, bros. How y'all doing?
Hey, Pap in Florilla, Alabama.
Hey, man, how y'all been? Y'all talking about the police, man, trying to sidetrack them and get out of something.
No. Pap, we just talking about, and Pap, you live in probably Florilla, Alabama, probably 12% black, maybe, if that, right?
Oh no, well, probably 40%, 30-40%.
Black?
That a lot of. Yeah, man. There's a lot of the brothers around the area around here, all over the place.
You might be talking about the county. You're talking about the county, not Florilla.
Well, it's sections of town have they still believe in the old ways, a lot of the ways,
Yeah,
But there's a lot of get together. I mean,
Pap,
the little church I go to, we got brothers. Go to church with us.
Pap, when you get pulled over by the police, are you nervous?
Lord, yes, man.
Pap, like, hell yeah. Huh?
I tell you, oh yeah.
And Pap probably know all the police in Florilla too.
They, believe it or not, yes, they do. They know me, and they'll run me down. They get bored at night, or something like that, and I go through there, exceeding the speed limit a little bit or something like that.
Yeah.
They'll stop me, and we'll go over and visit a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you some stories, man. I tell you, I've been around a long time.
Well, Pap, thank you for calling, man. We really appreciate it. Pap from Florilla, Alabama, man. Thank you so much. But boy,
we got another one.
Let's go back to the phone lines.
You're live on the air. Who's this? Hello.
Hi. Hello, yes. It's Lazy Prodigy. I just called earlier. I ended up leaving a message. You can ignore it. Just calling to tell Uncle thank you for all the times he actually told me this lesson.
Yeah, he joked. Oh, who is this?
Lazy.
This Lazy Prodigy? Lazy got arrested.
Oh, shoot. Oh, okay.
Lazy got
I'm on the air.
snatched. Lazy got snatched out the police car, out the car. Tell him why you got snatched out the car. Tell him why.
Yeah. All right. So there was a night where I had
keep the story short and tell him.
Okay. Well, I decided to drink and drive.
And no, you could have got home, right?
I could have got home.
What did you do?
Talk shit. Actually, beforehand, I actually honked the horn at the police, trying to thank them because I believe in the blue line. You know what I'm saying? I'm a strong supporter of the police, so I honked the horn. You know what I'm saying? I honked the horn.
So this dude,
and they were on the side over by the construction site. They were on the
hey,
side
hold on, wait.
site.
You see what I'm saying? Phil.
Oh my God.
So Lazy could have got to the house, but no, not Lazy.
I was less than a mile away.
Less than a mile from the house. He wanted to say hi to the police because he supports the police, not knowing that he in the wind. Just stop. It ain't
when
don't.
you put it like that, Don, you understand? When you put it like that, it makes it sound worse than it was. You see, because what happened was I spent a few nights in jail.
What do you think of the Tyreek Hill situation?
I believe he pretty much did what I did.
Mm-hmm. What was that?
And with men with financial resources, they feel as though there's this being that supports them or protects them. You know what I'm saying? And as someone who happened to be in that situation, I felt, like Superman.
Okay.
And being like Superman is always going to, you fly too close to the sun type shit.
So Lazy, when you got pulled over, did you hear this sound?
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
I heard it. I heard it. Now, listen. I heard it, but it was overwhelming in emotions as well. Because a lot of people can hear that sound, but when you're in it and then you squeeze the wheel, you know what I'm saying? You squeezing the wheel.
You squeeze the wheel.
And I'm praying to God. I promise you, I puckered a few times.
Lazy
And
man,
my
listen, man.
voice
Hey,
shook
you
myself.
just dropped a new album. Tell them how they can find a new album, man. Get your ass out the phone.
Right now, I'm working on a project. It's a long form song, but yeah, you can find me on Spotify. You can find me on YouTube, everywhere.
All right, shout out to our
out to
friend
God.
Lazy Prodigy in Austin, Texas. Thanks, Lazy man. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, that's Lazy Prodigy, man. He got some interesting music. He is a rapper, kind of Jamaican cowboy. Yeah, I've never seen those genres connect, but yes, Lazy Prodigy is a rapping Jamaican
I think
cowboy.
we got another call. I don't know who this
Let's
is.
head back to the phone lines.
Who's this?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Yeah, he calling from jail.
Hey, who's this?
Hello?
Hey, it's Gary.
Oh, man.
Hey, hello.
Oh, listen to me. This is what I love this guy. Joining me here on the show, he's been a part of my show many years. Voy,
many
you
years.
got to know Voy.
Yeah,
Gary
Gary.
Haskell. And podcast doctor, this is Gary Haskell.
Hello.
So whenever I talk about being arrested and engaging in the police improperly or having any interaction with the police as a black man, don't take this the wrong way, G, I love you, you're my brother. I call Gary Haskell, get his thoughts. Gary, what did you see in the Tyreek Hill video?
Well, when I saw it, I was very disappointed because Tyreek is one of the
Mm-hmm.
and when I saw what went on, because they showed it in full,
Mm-hmm.
they showed it when they pulled him over. They walked up to the car. They asked him to roll the window down, and I think he rolled it down a little bit, and then all of a sudden he rolled it back up, and then that's when they went to talking back and forth. And the guy just tapped on the window, and I heard him tell the police, "Don't tap on my window like that." And then I thought then that there was going to be some real major trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when that guy came out from behind, because they was trying to just, be sensible with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when that guy said, "Tell you what, just get your ass out the car." Yeah, and he said, "Well, it's over now. You get out the car." When they pulled him out, they threw him down. The same look. It was the same repeat look of the kid out of Minneapolis.
George Floyd.
And I said to myself then, Tyreek, you have made a major mistake.
Now, let me ask you a question.
And
Let me ask you a question.
I've been arrested. I've been arrested over 100 times.
What?
I came into the police I come into the police so many times.
You were born in prison.
It's almost like but then it's one thing that I've always knew to do, and that was to follow the orders of the police.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Follow the orders.
So you're telling me in 100 arrests, Gary, or more than 100, you have never been snatched out of a car?
Because you're not going to have to snatch me out. Because I understand who I'm under the authority of. Mm-hmm. And that is the next person to God.
Mm-hmm. Right. So have you ever?
The police.
So you telling me 100 arrests, and I've known you a long time, and I love where you are in your life, brother. The last 20 plus years of your life, you have been living an amazing life. You're doing great in the community. You wake up every day helping people. Your whole job right now is helping people. You haven't been in any trouble in many, many years, but in the last
25 years,
right, 25 years ago. In the last 25 years, he hadn't had no interaction.
I threw in the towel 25 years ago, 1999.
But before 99, he had 100 times he'd been arrested. And how many times?
From the age of 11 years old.
How many
From
times?
the age of 11.
How many charges of resisting arrest did you have?
Never. I had one charge of resisting arrest when I was trying to tell another fool that was the police. and the police took me to jail for resisting arrest. And I politely went to jail for that. All I did was tell him, man, leave that man alone. That's the police. They were trying to buy drugs in front of my people's place over in Winter Garden. And I just told him, I said, man, leave the man alone. I didn't even know that was resisting arrest until it was called interfering. It was called interfering, and they charged me with resisting arrest. Man, when the police throwed me up against that mailbox, I put my hand behind my back and politely went to jail. And when I got to jail, they charged me with resisting arrest without violence.
Gary, so what are your thoughts? Tyreek created that situation. Is that what you're saying?
Tyreek made something happen that should have never happened.
Okay.
That's it.
All Tyreek was supposed to do was roll the window down, give the information. You ain't did that. This is a traffic sign. And once they find out who he was, done, come on.
You know, I know.
You got Glenn
when
burning
they
up.
found out this was Tyreek Hill on the way to the game, do you think it was going to be a problem?
No, you think they was going?
What?
Wait! Slow down. Watch this. What cop in Miami is going to take him to jail the day before that game? Jacksonville, was it? Who are they playing? Jacksonville, right?
Jacksonville.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
What cop was going to make him miss that game?
But
Not
Darren,
one.
They didn't even know he was there. Darren, they didn't even know he was on the team until the big guy, one of the teammates, walked up behind him and began to let him know who he was.
Well, the teammate got arrested too.
They did not know. They did not know who Tyreek Hill was until that big guy.
Listen,
one of his teammates. That's why Tyreek say they put their life on the line for me.
Right. So thank you so much, Gary.
Tyreek knew that he was 100%. Tyreek knew that he was 100% wrong. That's why he hasn't opened his mouth. That's why I said.
He came out today
that's why
and said
I said
that
on a post, huh?
What did you say?
And I'm looking today. Now he's saying that they one of the guys need to be fired. I don't know whether that's social media, but I haven't heard Tyreek say not one time that he want any repercussions for anyone. And matter of fact, he shook their hands when he walked off. Man, come on, man.
Come on, man. Thank you so much, Gary. We appreciate you, man.
I'm hanging up on him.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. We appreciate it.
We got another call.
Let's go back to the phone lines. I knew this was going to be.
Hey, Glenn.
This dude. Bring him on.
Glenn.
Hey, Glenn, how you doing, man? Welcome to the Don Miller Show.
Hey, what's going on, Don Miller? What's going on, boy?
What's going on, Don?
This is Glenn Allgood. Glenn Allgood is the host of the Glenn Allgood Morning Show. And I know he's going to say something crazy.
Listen. It was so unfortunate because, man, Tyreek is so little, and those motorcycle cops were big, and they snatched his little behind up out of there with no problem. Snatched him right up out of there. But Don, for real, this is what's tragic. How do these cops not know the number one football player in all of the National Football League? How do they not know that this is Tyreek Hill? I'm not saying that he should have privilege because he's a football player, but come on. How could they not know this is Tyreek Hill?
Can I tell you something? And I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't have knew who he was. This is a guy who plays with a helmet on, okay? Nobody knows this guy, okay?
He looks real urban, and he looks really urban.
Yeah, he looks really urban, okay? Negroish. Negroish, like Negroish. Right, that's what you mean. That's what you mean.
Very Negroish.
Negroish. And let me just say this. Glenn Allgood, the Glenn Allgood Morning Show, y'all can follow him anytime. But think about this. You're from Miami. How many guys who look... How many guys who look like
there's about 1 million of them.
and guess what they drive? What do they drive, Glenn, down there? That same car.
The Lamborghini.
Yes, man. He could have been any
Ferrari. Oh my God.
Listen to me. Thank you so much, Glenn Allgood. Glenn Allgood in the morning. Y'all can find him. Just Google Glenn Allgood in the morning. He is my favorite morning show host. We love you, brother.
On WOKB 1680.
Yeah.
Glenn, love you, brother.
Love you, bro.
All right, you're live on the air. Who's this?
Hey, this is Gary. I just want to add this.
Oh my God.
I just needed to add this to You know, there were times when I was so conforming to the police. I had narcotics on me with no driver's license. I would be able to get the narcotics off of me because of my demeanor. I would go to jail because I was a career traffic offender. I was a habitual driving while licensed offender.
Wow.
And I would be able to come back and get my dope once I got out on bond. I just want to throw that in there. That's just how.
Hold on, wait. No,
conforming-
you can't just pop in here. Now, we know you conform. We know you changed your life 25 years ago. I know 2 or 3 judges who told me you were the worst. Okay, so let's be clear. You say you got rid of your dope and you came back and got it when you got out? How'd you do
when
that?
I got out on bond because I knew where I was when I got arrested. And I was able to get it out my pocket or out my car. and by me not showing any frustration or not acting in any irrational way, I was able to ditch it.
They wasn't even searching for dope. You was like, "How you doing, officer? I'm ready to go to jail."
But they was getting my information. They was coming to search.
Yeah.
But they was getting up and me being so cool and calm and collected, they weren't in any fear.
Yeah.
So what they would do, they would just go about their business, and while they were doing that, I would be able to get that. I did that about 6 times.
So they never
in my
called a
span.
dog. They never called the dogs on you.
No, because I gave them no reason.
Oh wow.
See, Don, when the police stop you, it's all based on attitude.
I agree with that.
I agree.
You see how fast? Did you see how fast their attitude changed yesterday when his attitude changed?
Absolutely. Well, Gary,
It's
hey man.
all about attitude.
Gary, thanks, man. We appreciate you, man. I want to get you in the studio.
Man, hey, man, I love you guys, man. Keep
Love you.
doing your thing.
Thank you, man. We got to get Gary in the studio. Gary got some of the best stories of all time. Hey, Phil, Gary say he just talked calmly to the police while getting rid up the dope. Yes, officer, everything's fine. I was just headed to the house. And while he's doing that, he's tossing crack rocks
I know.
away.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I was saying, this is really not a crack rock. This is actually a Q-tip head. Like, damn, I love Gary High School, man. That's my homie forever. Glenn Alger, love you so much, man. Hey, we got some people who hit us up. Then somebody sent us some messages. I saw a few messages hit the screen as we wind down. Can you put them back up, man?
Oh my God. Yeah. People were just, it was
gosh.
mainly lazy, but
Lazy.
Glenn arguing with each other. But
Yeah, Lazy and Glenn fighting. PJ Brown, my white punk ass got a visit to 33rd Street facility because I didn't shut my mouth and just signed the ticket. That's PJ Brown, who is a white guy. Okay, he kept talking and he went to jail. Thanks, PJ. This is Reg Hand 43. He also talked like he was a doughboy at the stop, talking about knock on his window, but an educated man on the next post. You're right, Reg. Lazy prodigy. This man learned the hard way many times. You know, again, if you have been engaged with the authorities as many times as this gentleman has, I just think you would know what's it going to take to get to the house. That's all. And you're listening to a guy like Gary, my friend, who I love. That's my brother, arrested 100 times. You hear me, boy? Mm-hmm. He said he ain't never been snatched out of a vehicle. Because what we don't learn and I've seen this, we always want to compare to what white people do on the traffic stop. That's white people. They should be snatched out too. But we can't do it. It ain't happened yet. We haven't gotten there. But the point is, man, at the end of the day, at what point do you just take the L, man? I'm just going to go ahead and take this L. Take me to jail.
But, Don, you got to understand, a lot of time, too, a lot of police officers, doesn't matter, Spanish, white, black, if you behave a certain way, you're very aggressive, you know, they tend to be like, when they're not going to disengage, they're going to be engaged. So, therefore, you got pulled over, just calm down, relax. Hey, officer, you want my license? Here we go. You know, just follow the instruction, man.
What point do you just take the L, man? I just want you to take the L. That's all I'm saying. Just take the L.
Because it could have been a whole lot happen on that day for him.
Yeah, it could have been worse than it was. Again,
worse.
feel free to pop in. Thank you so much. We are here on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We can ready to extend the time. We ain't told Phil, but
share the show, man.
we
Share
can
the
ready-
live. Share the
y'all
live.
got to share it. Share it. Tell your friends. Subscribe and like. My name is Don Miller. I'm an old black guy who trying to make a living and feed these people that got they standing waiting for me to come home with a check every week. So again, I'm just trying to keep it going. We got a great show coming up next week. I really want everybody to be ready for next week. We're gonna post it early. Go like these clips that we drop, Phil. We got to drop the clips early, so go like these clips, share the clips. Got a lot to talk about.
Well, there's one clip that I do want you to watch.
Okay.
This was something that happened, I think, was it 2 days ago?
Uh-huh.
You know, NFL Hall of Famer.
Okay.
And podcast host.
Okay, watch this, guys.
Shannon Sharpe.
Shannon Sharpe, who pray for Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe has been trying to just, I don't know, he's winning, man. What is it with these dudes who are winning, who want to win more?
Arrogance.
Winning is winning. So Shannon Sharpe, who's already winning, who's trying to repeat the Cat Williams platform interview, it ain't never going to happen, bro. There's nobody left for you to put on the platform that's going to outdo Cat Williams. Fast forward, Shannon Sharpe, there's allegations and people talking about him being a homosexual. I don't know if that brother's a homosexual, but he is kind of zesty sometimes. Anyway, he made a mistake. He said, Phil, you was a tech guy. I'm a little techie, learning from Phil and some of my other friends. He said somehow his phone went live on IG while he was making love to a woman.
No, you know what
you got to do to go live on IG? It's like 3-4 steps. I go live on IG. Phil, you go live. Boy, you go live on IG.
Yeah.
It's 3-4 steps. 1 and 2 and one more. And then it say confirm.
Yep.
Shannon Sharpe dropped that video. This is me talking. This is why I think. To get people to think that he was actually having sex with a woman. And that's okay. But just tell us that's what you're doing. You can't slip up and go live on IG. The phone can't fall out your hand and roll over there and go. And it sounded like he wasn't really doing much work because the kind of work I ain't hear none of that. Okay? Come on, man, Shannon. Shannon, I get it. You winning, bro. It's okay to win at the level you're winning at. You got it, man. You got it, man. You're one of the greatest of all time.
All right, that's about it.
Come on, dog. That is so fake. That is fake. Huh? If that was me, you'll hear 3 minutes of this. 3 minutes, then he'd be like,
A little bit louder than that.
3 minutes. That's all I got to give. But it's amazing that these people who get into this internet business and this, you could tell who really had the real struggle in life, right? You could tell. And I'm so tired of these athletes who tell me, man, my life. No, once you go from 0 to 100, everything before that means nothing unless you still live your life like somebody who came from that. Let me just repeat that. Tyreek Hill has had one of the raggediest lives, not just of an athlete, of a black man.
Yep, you made it.
Okay? Let me just say this. I got to hit these notes. I don't want to put this brother's business in the street, but the media do it first. This dude has charges of assault. He's got like 4 baby charges. Last year, there was 2 women who came out who said they were suing him for child support. The year before that, it was another. Come on, dog.
He ain't gonna be able to join that money.
No. The point is, look, I'm a man. Men need men. Yeah. You got to have a man in your life that you can, hey, man, look, dude, you got some time for me, man? I got a dude I can call. I got 2 dudes I can call. And if I'm going through something, man, a man need a man, boy.
You're right.
I don't care who you are, Phil.
You're right.
Men need men, man. Hey, look, I pick up the phone, call Sparky. Sparky, man, talk to me. Sparky, my boy. I can call Shell. I can call Griff. Men need men. And that young brother right there with the troubles that he's gone through in his young 30-year-old life with $200 million. The last thing you need, bro, is a negative engagement with the authorities. There's a caveat in your deal, I promise you. There's always a code of conduct clause in these contracts. Don't put it on the line, bro. You done ran to the microphone now, taking full responsibility of your actions. Yay. We cannot continue to take full responsibility of our actions after our actions. There are young black men watching you go out on the field and catch touchdowns, and then you throw your hands behind your back on the field like you being handcuffed after a touchdown. What was that about? Come on, man. When you are at that level, there's a better way to do it. And I get it. They say, Don Miller, you're expecting people who don't know anything to do things. No, I'm expecting people who done won to present a different image to people who have not won, man. And I just want to say to any young man, athlete or not, when your head is in the lion's mouth, you got to pull it out gently. When you're on the side of the road in Mississippi, Alabama, Cincinnati, Detroit, Cleveland, Chicago, you're not going to win there. Get to the house. Reach out for help. I told my son early on, shut up. Daddy will handle it, but I need you. There's nothing more important than to get to the house. You're not going to win on the side of the road. Never. Young black men, get to the house. It don't make you a bitch to comply. You're not soft if you comply. You comply to live another day. Oftentimes, the guy with the blue lights flashing is more afraid of you than you are of him. I said it. Oftentimes, the guy with the Kevlar vest and the big gun is more afraid of you than you are of him. We got to do better, man.
Don, a great actor passed this week, James Earl Jones, at 92. He was one of my favorite actors. He plays a lot of good movies. James Earl Jones died September the 9th. We don't have too many greatest left. Yeah. And he was one of the greatest.
Yeah, and he was a classy gentleman.
He was a classy.
Who carried himself all the way for 92 years like a gentleman, man. He was respectable.
Very.
We never heard any negative things about James Earl Jones, okay? I'm saying, guys, man, let's try to raise the bar, man. Look, pray for Tyreek Hill, man. Pray for this
Hopefully,
brother.
that'll be a wake-up call
No,
for
I don't
him.
know. I don't know because, listen, man, this brother needs a man in his life because sometimes you can be the greatest athlete and the fastest runner and the highest jumper, but you can be broken in your spirit. Athletic prowess, don't say you ain't broken in your spirit. I spent 25 years in that industry. And I dealt with more people with broken spirits that could catch balls and shoot balls and run fast because we look away from them. Let's save young black men. Tell them the truth. It don't make you a bitch to shut up and comply. George Floyd, that was murder.
Yeah.
But it didn't have to come to that.
No.
Let's go look. We got to be careful, guys. We got to be careful, guys. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to get in this car, in this Buick, and drive my ass home. If I get pulled over, dome light on, all the windows down. Yes, sir, officer. I just left the Don Miller show. I'm headed home. Here's all my information, sir. I'm sorry. Comply. Then you don't have to come back with $200 million in the bank and sound like, oh, I made a mistake. I should not have done this. I was wrong. Because you don't have to do that if you open it up and handle it right. Shout out to Gary Haskell. Shout out to Glenn Allgood. Lazy Prodigy, love you, bro. Thank you so much, everybody. Void, thank you for popping in.
Thank you. I always like to be here.
Hey, how can they follow Void, man? He's supposed to put his stuff on the screen, but he probably don't even know his handle. There you go. Boyd Nicholas. Okay. Boyd Nicholas, the Haitian sensation. Thursday nights, 5 to 7, WOKB Radio,
That's
Central
it.
Florida. Boyd Nicholas, 5 to 7.
We're going to have a hot show next week. So
Who you got on there next week?
Dr. White's going to be with me again.
Okay,
next
Dr.
week,
White.
We're going to stick in the political issue here.
Okay, great.
Did you watch the whole debate?
No. Yeah. It wasn't a debate. Stop it. It was not a debate. It was 3 against 1.
Yeah.
It wasn't a debate, right? The problem is, I don't want to see any more debates. Can somebody talk about how you're going to change the lives of people that are struggling in America? I don't care who it is, him or her. Somebody needs to address how you're going to deal with the lives of people who are struggling in America.
Absolutely.
I don't want to hear nothing else. I don't want to see two people standing on the stage, suited up with microphones, lying and engaging in ridiculous-ass conversation. Who is going to step up to make a difference and fix the issues of this country? I heard nothing about the economy in that conversation. To me, it was nothing. I heard nothing about the economy. I heard nothing about inflation. To me, it was nothing. If you ain't talking about what ails the American people, I don't give a damn about fracking. Fracking don't mean nothing to Don Miller. I can tell you right now, we understand what's happening at the border. I get that. We're going to have to deal with that. That's going to happen. But the border been a situation back and forth for the last 37 years. Tell me how you're going to fix the issues. The crisis right now is the fact that there are people in this country who can't feed their families. Thank you so much, everybody. Love y'all. Phil, take me home, man.
All right.
All right, bye, y'all.